Hey, what's up, folks? This is your boy Lonzo. We're here with another episode. If you only knew, not without Alonzo, baby. I got my boy Frankie D on the set today with me. We talking about some old school hip hop. You know, and I tell people all the time, you know, my history goes deep. I'm pre-hip hop. Okay, I'm pre-hip hop, and I'm strong to about 99, 90, maybe 2000. But for a while, I had to take a dip because hip hop got too crazy. I was doing other things, but there's some folks in the game that are deep. I mean, they have another level of the tree that I want to expose to some of y'all today. I mean, this guy kicked it. We met about 2 weeks ago, and every time he opens his mouth, I know how people feel when I start talking.
Shut up!
Because he got game that I don't even have. And when it comes to dancing and when it comes to the overall movement, he has some insight that I like listening to myself, folks. So here we are today. I got my man on the set today, my man Frankie D. What's up, Frankie D?
What's going on, y'all? How you doing?
I'm good, man. As always, dude, I got my man off camera, Arnold. He's over here.
Chilling in the cut.
He'll throw us some lobs from time to time. I got another brother on the team right now. Just joined the team. Callie on the side over here with the camera. We going live right now with him. What's up, Callie Cal? And we're trying to make this podcast and this whole situation relevant, man. We're trying to show the relevance of what we did, because for me, and I tell people all the time, I feel like Martin Luther King sometimes. I feel like Martin Luther King that got shot in the head, killed, and woke up in 2018 like, what the fuck did I get shot for? Because that's how the fuck I feel. Sometimes I did all that shit for this shit, and I know y'all, you old enough, fuck that, okay? Shit's real. So when I meet somebody that can help me fill in that gap, because there's a gap for me between 2002 and maybe even right now on some shit, okay? I've been back in the game for about 10 years, consistent, but because I did take a hiatus, some things got past me, and I got my man Frankie D. He's gonna fill in the fucking gaps like concrete. Talk to him, Frankie D.
All right, let me just give a brief so people have an understanding. I'm 53 years old. I was born in 65. So the mid-70s is when things really changed for me. Skateboarding came in, surfing was really big. DJ, turntables were coming in, but it was 1980, and I was punk rock, and Sugar Hill Gang came in with. I said the hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop, you don't stop. That was our first introduction. Roller rinks were really big, dance halls, dance clubs, underage club. But the music scene was thriving with the new wave and new rose and mod and ska. There was like an influx of trance, and house was just coming in. Hip hop was being broken, and I really went to the hip hop aspect because I felt that there was something about hip hop to me that was different than punk or rock and roll or other music genres. Like, you could do a lot more with it. You take a little sample, loop, and you put in whatever abstract hook you put in it. So it's not like jazz, where jazz has a certain swing. But anyway, so I got deeply involved with hip hop. I met the Soul Brothers in 1986, and they were a very vocal point of hip hop in the mid 80s and into the 90s. And we were coinciding with him. He was promoting clubs in the early days, and highlighted a lot of the early pop lockers, or poppers and lockers. There's discrepancy on the term pop locking. I'm not trying to go into that right now, but he was a very instrumental part of it, aka the king of pop, the Electric Boogaloos, the Puppets. There's so many popping and locking groups at the time.
Captain Crunch and the Funky
Captain Crunch.
One Arm Bandit.
Oh my God.
Did he really have one arm?
No. It was broke for a long time, so he just called himself the One Arm Bandit.
Okay.
No, he had a style that looked like he had one arm. He had a very unique. He was untouchable and still is. Shout out to One Arm. He's amazing. But then our era came in. The movies had been exploited with Beat Street and Breakin', Electric Boogaloo, and all that stuff. And we wanted to separate ourselves from that. And this new social scene came in with the what we now call the trendy era. But back then it was called party dancing. And there was 3 eras to it. Their first era was all about the gear. It was all about the Fila, the Reebok, the Guess, the Prep. There was a bunch of social dances. And then the second era was about the movies, the Running Man, the Transformer, the RoboCop, the Cabbage Patch, the Pee Wee Herman. And then the third era was the New Jack era. Guy kind of touched on that, but a lot of the dance was kind of going like R&B and hip hop and house, and hip house was really big at the time.
What was your favorite dance movement, far as overall or musical movement of that era?
In the 80s?
Yeah, in the 80s.
I think the most slept on was the ska movement. I think the ska movement was one of the most slept on movements, and it's mostly because there wasn't any American artists. Later on, with No Doubt and Sublime, took the ska movement, but at that time it was all about the Specials and English Beat and Madness, and they were all English artists.
Does ska have its roots in Jamaica?
Yeah, it's half punk rock and half Caribbean or half reggae.
Okay.
And this is like when root reggae, Peter Tosh and Bob Marley mixed with Black Flag, and punk rock and hip hop has always been together too. I mean, a lot of people forget that Africa Bambaataa and Johnny Rotten came together and did you remember World Destruction, the world means nothing. So it's always there's always been rock and roll, punk rock, reggae, dancehall, house. All of it's always been blended in with hip hop, because hip hop is just a little sample and a loop. So what you do with it, and then you put an abstract hook, and it could be anything. It could be bubblegum, it could be gangster, it could be conscience, it could be reality, it could be fundamental, it could be stupid, it could be silly, even down to this day. I mean, I'm not with today's rappers as much as I'd like to be, but I have to marvel at the brilliance of the cadence. I mean, we gotta look at their cadence. Everything's a hook now. I'm in the club in the party, ooh, and I'm just doing my thing.
Voice is an instrument now.
Yeah, it's and it's a cadence now. It's not like you're spitting a whole long 16 verse and 8. It's not a 16/8 like it used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's like 2/4. You have a bridge going into a short hook into a shit. Yeah, it's. Like and it's like an advertisement now, and
the advertising though.
Oh, right, I took a shit with your girlfriend. I didn't know she's your girlfriend. Fuck your feelings. Don't share your feelings. In the club, popping bottles. Woo, and I'm in the. But anyway, the whole point is like, and this goes with all music genres, and this really goes into hip hop mostly because hip hop has affected the world. Right. We're in Ukraine, we're in China, we're in all over Africa, Central South America, and so on and so forth. We're on cereal boxes, we're in athletics, we're in the fashion, we're in every aspect of modern existence. Hip hop is, back then.
Yeah, we were talking earlier off camera, and we were talking about some of the origins of hip hop. And if you want to have a fight with a brother from any side of the Mason-Dixon line, you tell him that hip hop started in the East and the West Coast, and it's going down.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here it is, and I tell people before, on a regular basis, before it was called hip hop, we were doing hip hop shit.
Right.
Okay. Before they put a label on it,
exactly.
We were already doing the basic, the dance, the pop locking, the various types of dance. I was in the park in 75, 76. Same thing Kool Herc was doing in New York. I'm in the park. I'm in the park. I'm in Peg Park. I got 1,000 people listening to my home speakers. Okay. On a Saturday afternoon, I done hooked up the electricity from the bathroom, run a 100-foot extension cord to my DJ shit. All of a sudden, here come a bunch of bikers, unplug my shit. Okay, another story. So, but we doing this, but we weren't doing it we weren't doing the breaks yet. I mean, we had to discover turntables like that. I had 2 turntables. It was Samuel belt drives. You couldn't backspin these motherfuckers. Okay, you backspin them, you're gonna break the belt. But the origins and some of the groundbreaking moves and movements came out of LA because, like you said earlier, we had Soul Train. Soul Train gave us a big influence nationwide because Soul Train was based out of LA, came from Chicago, moved to LA, and gave us a foundation because when the world stopped on Saturday afternoon, man, what you washing dishes? You were a teenager washing dishes. And you vacuuming, you may vacuum the same spot for the whole hour because you waiting to see who's gonna be on Soul Train. I had folks laughing because you had your shirt tied up. You might tie your shirt up after Soul Train because that was the style for a while.
Right.
Man, did you have your shirt tied up? Did you have your shirt tied up like you?
I had the baggy. I had the baggy version. Okay. I had the baggy where you like when the housing scene came in, you kind of tied your rayon shirt right here. And we had it just below our belt, but I didn't do the upper here because there was different ways you could tie it.
I gotta say this: in the '70s, we had this clothing line called Flag Brothers. Okay, we had Flag Brothers. Flag Brothers was the shit. Flag Brothers was the Nikes of the '70s. Okay, and they had these shirts because everybody couldn't wear the shirt tied up because that was before it was a gay thing. Okay, they had the big ass elastic band go across your stomach, and your shoulders and shit was puffed up, looked like you was buffed. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And you had it on your 3-inch heels. Okay, and that's how you roll. Okay, you can't see.
Yeah,
this shit,
no,
right?
I'll show it later on.
Okay.
I wanted to show him.
These motherfuckers right here hurt your feet. Okay, them potato toes, 3-inch heels. Cause they made your feet cram at the bottom. Okay,
Right.
so you walking like a female, but you ain't your toes ain't exposed. They crushed them. Oh man, it was a hell of an era. The very painful era. But these are the kind of things that we did in the '70s.